certainly am. In today's video, I'm doing a bit of a tidy up around the garden. You know, one of those jobs that you know needed doing weeks and weeks and weeks ago, but you just keep putting it off? Well, it finally caught up with me, and here I am, just sorting out an area in the garden where I have an apple tree, but this is no ordinary apple tree. This is called an apple stepover. My apple stepover is just here to the left, in front of this pot that I am removing. Typically, different trees have different size rootstocks. What that means is, dependent on the size of the rootstock will determine the shape or size of the tree. So the apple stepovers have intentionally been grafted onto miniature rootstock, which gives them their shortened miniature size. Stepovers are therefore ideal for all types of gardens, whether you have a large space and you just want to use the apple tree as a division, perhaps from one area to another, or perhaps you might be working in a smaller spaced area, maybe even a patio or garden containers, maybe a balcony as well. What I will say is that this stepover tree, or apple tree, produces the most amazing apples. So back to the job at hand. I've got to get this tidying up done. There's no deadline. It's just a job that I've been putting off for such a long time. Maybe if you're like me, you tend to focus on the things you enjoy doing the most, and you leave the things that you don't like so much to the back. And eventually the things at the back just keep calling your name. That's what's really happened here. Do you have things around the home or in the garden that you put as your priorities, and you always deal with those things first, but you know that there are things that you ought to be doing as well, but you just tend to leave them to the wayside? If you can name something, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave it in the comment section below. I know when I speak to people and family and friends, the bit people like doing the least is the tidying up. And things like weeding the garden. And you know, when I speak of weeds, you know me by now, but when I speak of weed in the garden, I am absolutely always talking about flowers, plants, flora that just happens to be growing in places that you no longer want them. So when I refer to weeding, I'm always talking about beautiful flowers often, but they just happen to be growing in places you don't want them. Otherwise, they're really known as wildflowers. But anyway, I digress. Back to the tidying up. Here I've got these pebbles. These are Scottish pebbles. And you can probably tell from my voice. My voice has just been real croaky today. Do you ever get those mornings where you just get up and your voice doesn't want to know you? Well, for me, today's one of those days. My voice just doesn't want to be my friend. I'm not sick or anything like that. I don't have a sore throat. I just have, as they say in the UK, a frog in my throat. I wonder where that saying came from. I must look it up. But yeah, today I have a frog in my throat. But that is not going to stop me from doing this job. I still need to tidy up. So here I am. This area here is just beneath a laurel tree, and whilst the laurel tree is actually an evergreen tree, it does occasionally drop some of its old leaves, and you know what will happen to any leaves or any vegetation over time? It will break down and become amazing compost. Nature is so incredible. But I'm just having a bit of a tidy up here and just rebalancing the pots as well. various jobs, and it could be housework or cleaning the car or mowing the lawn, sorting out the driveway, washing the curtains, whatever it is, and in the garden as well, lots of different tasks. But I think, and maybe you'll agree with me, that once you get that task done, that you know has been niggling, and you finally get it done, but it actually feels even more rewarding. So here it goes. I've had these garden pots for years, for ages. In fact, if memory serves me well, I think I saw them in the garden centre way before I knew where they were going to be in the garden. I know I'm not the only one who shops like that. You see stuff that you really admire, and you have an idea where they're going to go, but you're not absolutely sure. But eventually, you find just the right place for them, as I have done here. I like the fact that in our garden, we have, like here, a bird cage. It has mint in a beautiful, colourful plant pot. Again, some more plant pots on an old cabinet. An old sink. This one here's got sedum. Adding the metal trellis will help to support some of the climbing vegetables such as the beans, the chocho, some tomatoes. This clock has long stopped working, but I still enjoy it. I remember buying it a long time ago. But even a broken clock is still right, twice a day. Oh, and as if perhaps you hadn't noticed, in today's video, I decided to do the tidying up, the clearing up, the gardening, whilst barefoot. I always remember this athlete, I think back in the 80s, I'm guessing, Zola Budd. How many of you? A trip down memory lane. A trip down memory lane. How many of you remember this athlete by the name of Zola Budd? And if you do, perhaps in the comment below, let me know where you're commenting from and if you remember the name Zola Budd. And it's so strange because all these years later, I remember she's very well known for a particular incident. I'm not going to give anything away. If you know, you know. But write down in the comments if you can actually remember that situation that happened to this particular athlete. Another job done in the garden. Thank you for joining me.